spinning mobile here that demonstrates what we call the design cycle. So it starts with a question. So the question today is going to be basically what kind of lights up tinkling sort of do you want to make? Yeah. So that's kind of the materials that you have at hand. There are two things that make it light up, and there's maybe something you need to know about that. So one of them is a battery. This packet here. So these are called coin batteries because they look like coins, I guess. They have a plus on one side and nothing on the other side. The plus side is the positive. And to make it light up, we're going to choose an LED. So we have some boxes here. Some of them are coloured, like this one is green. But in this box, just because they're clear doesn't mean it's white. So I'll show you, for example. Okay, that was going to prove me wrong. It is white, but as is this one.
That's for example ones that are not this.
Yay, green. Okay. There are also ones that are just green, and you can definitely have a green one. So what I'm doing here is just sliding them on like scissors, right? So it's going to slide like this. If you look at the LED, there's a long leg and a short leg, right? The long leg is the positive. It's really a 50-50 chance. If you do it the wrong way, it's not going to light up. You just flip it over, and it will. If you want to learn, that's the thing. It's the same on all LEDs. The long leg is a positive. So you learn the science thing. And so here is how you build your creation. You first start with what do you want to design. So you'll pick your craft foam or you'll pick your star, or make your design. Then you choose where you want your light to be. So let's say you want it in the middle. You will just take the LED and push it through the craft foam. So they're pretty hardy, you can push them. So it goes all the way. This is where you can choose to use the sticky back. So if we peel the back off, it's very sticky and this battery is going to stay on. So again, we have a plus touching one leg so it lights up. You want to bend it flat. Right, so one leg is underneath the battery right now and one's on top. And when we squeeze them into position, the light stays on. We have regular tape as well, so you're going to want to secure both sides of the LED. You want to imagine the legs squeezing the battery, that's how it's going to stay on. So we can use regular tape too. This is why you don't necessarily need the sticky bit, it's up to you. Actually it's going to be slightly sticky on the back. So you're going to tape down both legs. Now if it's not, like you've got them in position and it was on, all you need to do is just basically keep bending the light. Because like I said, you're trying to get that tension from both sides of the legs. So it's just a matter of moving the light until it feels tension on both sides, and then it will stay on. And then to make it wearable, you take a safety pin, and on these nice thick ones, you can probably just go straight through the foam like this. You'll see some of them are just kind of pushed through once, and some kind of weaved it through and back again. So it sits on the back like this. This is all up to you to personalize. And then you can wear it. And by the end of the night, everyone will be wearing lights up bandits. If you don't want to pierce your clothing, that might be a good option for the stickiness. Yeah, that is it. So I'm here to help you troubleshoot, but be creative. Don't be afraid to make a mess. And yeah, let's begin. Go ahead. So you have duplicate material.
To get to show you Birdly today. So Birdly is a virtual reality experience. You're going to be flying through the air like an eagle. So some basic safety things that's primarily for your safety, but also for the safety of the equipment. So when we go on, it's really important that when you step up 1 foot at a time, And before you put any pressure on these, because they are a little more delicate compared to the rest, these are also a little more delicate. You want to lean forward so that your belly's on this black part here. I'll kind of go through when you're here. Then swing your legs up. At this point, I will strap you in, and then I'll put on your headset. You want to put your arms on here so that they're kind of like you're holding hands with Bertley. Now, when you're on Bertley itself, there's some basic ways to be able to move. So if everyone can put their arms out for me. Now, so if you want to go down, so if you want to do a nosedive, down this way. If you want to go up this way, you can do lefts, you can do rights, and that's how you move around. You can also move your head when you're on there to be able to look down, look up. You're a bird, you can see your feathers sometimes. And keep in mind, when you're on, you are an eagle, not a hummingbird. So when you're moving your wings, you don't need to do big, like really, really fast, just very big, broad strokes. So we're going to go on. Keep in mind that the technology was engineered to help people who do have like motion sickness and that kind of thing. So it doesn't tend to affect people as much as you might think. But if you do have motion sickness, if you are afraid of heights, just let me know. We can still try it out. We can stop it at any time. All right, so we've got time for a full session, so 2 minutes each. Who wants to go first? Yes, awesome. If I can get the two of you just to come back out here or on the other side of the fence if you want to film, which is totally fine.
drawing of the characters. Someone draws it, you do the conception of the character that you would like, but then it has to be made into an actual 3D model. So we'll see some, what they're called maquettes over here as we go on, but a lot of the times it's not just a picture, it's a sketch, It then goes into a clay model, and then sometimes it's actually directly 3D scanned into the computer. So, this is a fully done Buzz Lightyear. You've also told a story, right?
Yes.
And then behind you, closely related modeling, is the rigging. So, once you have your modeled character, it needs to move. And it needs to move in such a way that when you move your right hand, your left foot doesn't go up. Just touch most things in this gallery, just don't touch Sully. Because is it Sully or Mike? Who's the big one?
Sully. Sully is the small one.
So, don't touch the hairy one. Okay, so we're gonna keep walking over this way. So over in this section, you can see some of the casts of maquettes that have been made. These are also, I don't know if these are the original clay figurines that they make, but they must be because they've got them under lock and key. You'll notice in this gallery, there's been a lot of consideration taken by the designers to kind of give it a real tactile feel as well. Also for people. Yeah, they're really loud. I don't think that this is how they actually learned about how to animate some of the perspectives, and all the variety of perspectives that they had to animate to get a Bug's Life. What they did is they took little cameras. This was a long time ago, so this is even more impressive. They took little cameras the size of ants, and they would put them out into nature. They put them out into a yard, and then make it crawl around, and just kind of see what the perspective is like, and how much different it is when you're really, really tiny. Does anyone remember what it was like when you were a baby? It was like a seed? Probably not. So, big from Pixar. Did everyone see Bug's Life? What about its contemporary competitor Ants? Much more low budget. So you can imagine that this is actually, I don't know, I find that this part, the sets in the camera, kind of really abstract because you create a world that's not real, and you have to take the real things that we have, like cameras and lights, and put them inside. It's not blowing your mind. But after animation, you can't animate absolutely everything. You can't animate every single frame, or else, like, for instance here, let's turn that on. This is actually kind of a cool exhibit. So here we have the good simulation, so you can actually see the hair moving. Now, if they had someone whose responsibility it was to program and to animate, to do everything on every little strand of hair on Tangled's head, that's her name, right? Sorry? On Tangled's head? It would look really weird.
Different movie.
Yes, they didn't. This isn't Tangled?
No.
No.
Tangles were both Rapunzel.
I know.
This is Brave.
I got it.
Oh, he's joking.
A couple more really cool ones that are super weird.
Oh.
Maybe a little too PG-13 for this gallery.
Yeah.
Water simulation. This one's actually my favorite. So it looks normal, but instead they're just all in rigged state. Just all working off. There's an incredible reference over here. I think some people really into.
There's incredible reference.
Okay, so this one comes a little bit before the simulation, because the style that they animate is that they, I think it even goes back to the story and animation stage, where they'll actually draw out the real moments that they want to hit. So if you have this character, you really want her to make a crazy face, wait for it, maybe that is the actual frame that the artist had in mind. So they'll create this frame, and then they'll create the frame before it that is also one of the kind of marker frames that they like. And then that one over there is the simulation kind of between the scenes, and also all of the accessories on their clothes, with their hair looks. This is kind of more like the meat of it. This is where the artists really get to lay in. There's also a cool thing over here. Really, really great for kids and for adults. Stop motion animation. This is kind of more animation. Got it started. Did anyone come to our animation gallery when we had it? It shows off how painstaking it is to actually make a movie using animation. Has anyone ever made a movie on the computer themselves in MS Paint, just like frame by frame? I used to do that.
Yes.
I gave up, and that's why I'm not
MS Paint?
an animator. All right, let's move on. Now we're getting more of a finished product. We started with the sketch, then the model, then the rigging, surface, simulation, sets on camera, animation, and then finally we get to lighting, which some people think might be the most vital part. Actually, I have a theater background, so that's why. Theater, everything is light. That's going to your light, you gotta light everything. So we have a very cool exhibit here. The kids really like. You get to pose with Dilly, the fish. I know the story. That one was real. Another really cool thing to think about. This pertains to sound as well, which doesn't really get discussed in this gallery. Yeah, but also like look at how much the mood kind of changes. The lighting will change the mood. So yeah, so now Dory's angry. How do we make Dory surprised? Is that something we can do? Oh! And maybe we can make Dory contemplative. That's how you say that, right?
Contemplative.
And now, how about really, really sad and gloomy?
Yeah.
There we go. All right, so keep following me. Keep following me. This is a very good exhibit because it just gets kids to press the button for 30 seconds.
We're gonna have to watch for like a minute.
Watch it.
Oh wow.
And this render is just a single
19 hours?
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Okay.
24 frames.
That's normal.
Yeah, it adds up. Yeah, it takes a long time. So,
We complain about buffering.
Yeah.
33 hours.
yeah, if you let go, it returns to the Antichrist. There we go. Sorry, I fucked it. So, yeah, rendering takes a really long time. So they'll put all the information into their computers, and then they'll leave for the night, and they'll just leave those computers on basically all night. So just have all of
To
this
render
energy.
away.
Just rendering all night, and hopefully when they come in the morning,
It will be rendered.
yeah, it's not
But it won't.
nothing's
33
stopping.
hours. Like a day and a half.
So that's the whole animation process, just put down into like 20 minutes.
And we're done.
Yeah. So something that kind of showed up in the video that we started is, yeah, a lot of the employees don't even know what the other employees do. It's all kind of a big puzzle that this process puts together. Is there any other questions anybody had about the gallery? Yeah, you can imagine how many people it takes to make a Pixar movie. Yeah. Does anyone watch South Park?
Yes.
Have you seen that documentary they do 6 days to air, where it shows how they actually make their entire show in one building and it takes them 6 days? Scripts, characters, animate everything all in 6 days. You could not do that with this. This is way too high tech.
It's 4 years. 4 years that we learned today.
to make a full.
Average. But it's only 3 years.